So next up, we have Kassem Nizam from Invest Windsor Essex talking about Automotive Cybersecurity Program at Invest Windsor Essex. Kassem is the Technical Program Manager at Invest Windsor Essex. With a solid educational foundation in mechanical engineering, Kassem earned his Bachelor of Applied Science degree from University of Ottawa. Driven by a passion for automotive technology and economic development, Kassem joined Invest Windsor Essex, where he passionately participates at the OVIN program. In this role, he oversees programs related to simulation, digital twin technology, and software bundles. Kassem is dedicated to working closely with clients to ensure they access the right programs and receive the technical support necessary to succeed. Please welcome Kassem Nizam.
Thank you for the great introduction. Makes me seem a little more sophisticated than I actually am, so thank you for that. Thank you for AG for hosting this great conference today. We appreciate it. So I'm here to talk about Invest Windsor Essex today, which is the lead economic development firm for the city of Windsor. More specifically, we're the OVIN RTDS in Windsor. So at the Automobile Innovation Center, we're focused on one thing, and it's making sure Windsor Essex region is the automobility capital of Canada. The automobility definition is the secure, zero-emission movement of people, goods, and service using advanced information technologies. That's a term we've created to help our startups cater to the needs they need. So today I'm going to break down some of the RTDS services we have. And RTDS is a regional technology development site. There's 8 of us that span across Ontario, and that's thanks to the OVIN network, the Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network. And each site specializes in something completely different, and today we're going to talk about what we do. So we've broken down our programs into 3 pillars, essentially. Innovation Corridor, which focuses on simulation and digital twinning. RTDS Collaboration, which focuses on working with other RTDS networks and allowing our startups to network with multiple people across the province, and our cybersecurity program, which I'll let Deepan dive into a little bit deeper throughout the presentation. So what do we focus on at Invest Windsor Essex? We're home to Canada's largest publicly accessible VR cave, which was founded in 2019. This immersive technology allows SMEs to come and collaborate on their projects. Thanks to our partnership with Virtual, a company out of Spain, we've turned our VR cave from a one-user platform to a multi-user platform. So anybody from across the world can access this great technology from a VR headset, a computer, or their own VR cave to work on their projects and collaborate with their other teammates. We have partnerships with the University of Windsor and St. Clair College, and we have 3 engineers on staff to help our SMEs through their problems, starting from a simulation engineer, a software engineer, and a cybersecurity engineer. So our digital twin program, this is a very unique program that ties into our virtual partnership. Digital twinning has 3 pillars for us at Invest Windsor Essex. We've done a digital twin for manufacturing, so we can go into a shop floor and scan their shop floor so companies could utilize this technology when they want to purchase new equipment, and they could see how they can best put this equipment before committing to it. Companies could come and give us their 3D model so we can create an immersive viewpoint for them so they can collaborate on product innovation and design. It's a much faster turnaround time, it's much cheaper for startups, and allows them to get to market much faster. We have multiple virtual test tracks at Invest Windsor Essex. So if you can imagine, if you're an on-road technologies company developing any sensor technology or vehicle technology, it'd be very hard to test on-road thanks to regulations and laws. Due to these test tracks, we can allow companies to test their technologies right away. We have a partnership with Invest Ottawa at Area X.0, which is a live test bench allowing companies to test on-road technologies. So companies could come to us at Invest Windsor Essex, test their products in simulation, and then go to Ottawa and do the same exact test on a real road and compare the results. This allows for faster turnaround time and more accurate estimations. We're also home to the only border crossing virtual test track. So you can imagine, if you're a cross-border technology company working on technologies for cross-borders, it'd be very hard to go through the Windsor-Detroit tunnel right now to test your product. If anyone here has ever crossed the border to go into Detroit, it automatically goes from 8 lanes to 1 lane. As you can imagine, an autonomous vehicle would have a very difficult time figuring out how to go from 8 lanes to 1 lane. There's no lane marks, there's nothing for that. So using this technology, companies can test it and then go perform real-life tests. Hardware-in-the-loop and simulation testing. We've partnered with a company out of Quebec called Opal RT. So we have a hardware-in-the-loop test bench in our lab. So if you have a sensor or vehicle that you need testing, you could bring it into our lab and connect it to our hardware-in-the-loop system and make sure it meets your expectations in terms of results and specifications. We also have dedicated engineers to help you with the services if you've never used a hardware-in-the-loop before. And one of our most proud services are simulation startup bundles. So we've partnered with ANSYS, which is a lead simulation software enterprise in the world, to give you access to 6-figure licenses to do your own simulation testing at home. The unique feature about this is you get support services from application engineers from ANSYS that will work with you on your programs and any projects you're trying to work on. They'll spend multiple times, and we have around 8 different bundles that can help you with your products. Next, we're going to go into our automotive cybersecurity. This is what you guys really came here to listen to. Deepan Dhingra is our cyber threat analyst, and who's going to dive deeper into this. And please remember, all our services are completely free for Ontario-based SMEs. So if you're interested, please reach out to me, and we would love to learn how we can help you.
So we do offer automotive cybersecurity services. We already have heard about why do we need cybersecurity. There are hundreds of electronic components that have been used in the vehicle, million lines of code, 100 million lines of code, and it's still increasing, right? So yeah, if looking at the threat landscape for the vehicles, remote exploitation, as we have seen with the Jeep Cherokee, the Tesla video that we shown earlier, and the other data breaches, a lot of cyber incidents that have been happening in recent times with the OEMs is data breaches. Hackers have been stealing data from them, and ransomware attacks. So what would the ransomware attack on automotive look like? So imagine you are going on a highway 401 and someone just encrypt your vehicle system, and they're asking for a ransom until you make the payments. You won't be able to probably put on the brakes or accelerate the vehicle. And supply chain vulnerabilities. There are hundreds of suppliers that come together to make the vehicle. And how about their policies and procedures? How about the vulnerabilities in the software codes in regard to the supply chain? We have already talked about the standards as well, ISO 21434 and UNEC WP29 R155, which will be applicable from July 30th, 2024. And I think in Europe, a lot of tier 1s, OEMs, they are, they have been regulated with this and going through a lot of auditing and assessing processes. TARA, Threat Analysis and Risk Assessment. So it is one of the services that we provide at Invest Windsor Essex. So clause 15 of ISO 21434 defines a process on how to do a TARA on an electronic control unit. So basically it is similar to any other threat analysis that we do in the IT systems. Just it would be in the context of automotive item definition. So we have to define the item, right? Like let's take an example of infotainment system. So what are the assets associated with that? If it is connected to the headlamp unit, the headlamp unit is sending messages to the infotainment system. And the communication between the messages that are being sent from the headlamp system to the infotainment system or vice versa, that would be the asset. What would happen if someone spoofs that message or probably tamper with that message, right? So we have to define the asset and define the impact rating of those assets, like damage scenarios. What would be the impact of the damage scenarios? The next step, which is really important, is to define the threat scenario identification. So that could be done using different methodologies. One of the methodology that we use is STRIDE, and define different threat scenarios associated with that. Attack path analysis. It's basically defining different attack paths. So headlamp system is connected to the infotainment system. It might be connected probably to another ECU, let's say ADAS, or probably to the cloud, and sending messages to and fro. What could be the attack path for an attacker to hack into the system? So it's basically a procedure that we need to define in order to determine the risk. And once we have the risk rating, we have to see what risk we want to see target in order to protect the vehicle. If the risk is high, then definitely we have to implement cybersecurity controls. And if it is at an acceptable level, then probably we can ignore it, looking at the cost and business perspective out of it. So it is the first step towards any, I would say, cybersecurity you want to do in an electronic component or any, even in the IT world, right? So this is one of the services that we provide to companies all across Ontario. The next is automated penetration testing. So we have partnered with Shield. Dr. Mitra, she is from Shield, and we have equipment from Keysight Technologies, where we test electrical and electronic components. So any system that has the capability to connect via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB, CAN, Ethernet, we have a catalog and attack suits. Once we configure any electronic component with the machine, we can probably run different attack on the electronic system and see how it reacts. We can test ECUs, any system, headlamp systems, or probably if you give us a car, probably we'll test that as well. Yeah, and we are also working to create our own test suits and write our own test suits and integrate it with multiple devices. Yeah. So this is a threat library that you can get access to. So we have a list of probably thousands of threats, and probably there's a catalog as well that will help you to define different ratings, and you can probably use that as a basis of your risk assessment. And these services are completely free, and I'll be guiding you through throughout the entire process, right from the beginning to the end. Yeah, so these are details about the threat analysis and the pen testing. Yeah, so these are benefits that our clients that get, like as Cass mentioned about different services, VR, CAVE, NSS softwares, and cyber security services. These are 6-figure services, and you get access to other 7 RTDS sites as well. And obviously, you will be a part of our ecosystem. As you can see, Vehi-TV, IWE, and University of Windsor. We work collaboratively with each other, supporting each other. And yep.